Welcome to Speak Fluent English Lab, where learning to speak fluent English feels simple and fun. I'm David.
Hi everyone, I'm Lena. So here's a question that probably doesn't cross your mind. What do you think goes through Trump's head when he sits down to negotiate with the president of China, or Japan, or the European Union? Very different countries, very different cultures, very different priorities.
And yet, his strategy somehow works across all of them. Whether it's trade deals with China, NATO negotiations with Europe, or bilateral agreements with emerging markets, there's a pattern, a repeatable system.
Today, we're unpacking those 4 core moves that Trump uses with world leaders. A psychological framework that he applies no matter which country, which leader, which situation he walks into.
By the end of this episode, you won't just understand Trump's international strategy. You'll have the precise English phrases and psychological tactics to negotiate anything with anyone, regardless of their background or culture.
Before we dive into world-class negotiation strategy, a massive thank you for watching Speak Fluent English Lab.
Your support means a lot to us.
Please drop a like and hit the subscribe button. They are our motivators to create more interesting English tips for you.
All right, let's break down move number 1, the WALKAWay power move. This is where Trump's genius really shows.
Here's what happens. Trump enters a negotiation, and if things aren't going his way, he simply walks away. He doesn't threaten, he doesn't negotiate further, he leaves. And suddenly, the other side is panicked because now they have to come back to the table on Trump's terms.
The English phrase here is absolutely key. I appreciate what you're offering, and I'm not sure this is the right fit for what we need. We'll probably pursue other options. Notice you're not closing the door, you're stepping back. You're making them realize what they'll lose if you walk away. That's power.
Here's the real Trump example. In 2018, Trump withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal. The entire world thought the deal was done.
But Trump walked away because he believed it wasn't good enough. 6 months later, Iran was back at the negotiating table wanting better terms for America. That's the walkaway power in action.
Move 2, relentless persistence. Trump doesn't give up, ever. When someone resists, he just keeps pushing, keeps returning with variations of the same message.
But here's where most people get it wrong. Persistence doesn't mean repeating the same thing like a broken record. It means saying the same core message in 5 different ways until it sticks. The critical English technique here is using and instead of but. Listen, I hear what you're saying, but I still think we should, versus I hear what you're saying, and I'm convinced we can make this work because.
The word but actually cancels everything before it. Your brain deletes it. But and keeps both ideas alive, so you're advancing your position while acknowledging theirs. Try this. What I'm really looking for is X. Now, another way to think about X is, and here's why X makes sense for both of us. 3 times you've stated the same message, but it doesn't feel repetitive.
Real Trump example, his efforts to pass the American Health Care Act. Congress rejected it multiple times. Did Trump stop?
No, he kept coming back with different versions, different angles, different messaging. He kept the conversation alive through relentless return. When you master this in English, people feel your conviction, and conviction is contagious.
Now, here's where it gets really clever. Move 3, power misdirection.
This is literally a magic trick. Trump acts like he cares about one thing, let's call it X, but what he actually wants is Y. So while the other person is defending X and making concessions there, Trump quietly secures Y without any resistance.
The English setup sounds like this. What matters most to me in this deal is X. And then he acts like X is negotiable while keeping Y locked down. He might say, look, I'm flexible on most things, but this particular element is non-negotiable for my bottom line.
Real Trump example. During the 2016 election, Trump's campaign appeared focused on winning the nomination.
But what he actually wanted was to build his political brand and media presence. The campaign was the vehicle. The real prize was something different. Everyone was focused on election strategy, while Trump was building his real negotiating position.
What he's actually done is narrowed the negotiation to just one point, while they think he's focused on something else. It's not dishonest, it's intelligent communication. When you learn to do this in English, you sound like someone who knows exactly what they want and won't settle.
And finally, move 4, the deepest level of all, emotional domination.
Trump doesn't just negotiate terms, he negotiates feelings. He makes people feel small, almost defeated, and then he gives them a tiny concession and they feel grateful and relieved. It's the contrast effect.
Here's the setup. He comes in strong and aggressive, makes huge demands, and the other side is terrified. Then he backs off, maybe 10–15%, not much at all, and suddenly they feel like they won. The English phrases sound like, I was initially looking for way more than this, but I respect you enough to find middle ground. This is where I can move to.
Notice the word respect? That's emotional language. You're not just negotiating price, you're negotiating their sense of self-worth and dignity. When someone feels seen and respected by you, they'll make concessions they wouldn't normally make because the emotional victory matters more to them than the actual numbers.
Real Trump example. His approach with world leaders. He'd initially be very harsh with public criticism or aggressive demands. Then he'd suddenly shift to flattery and respect. With North Korea's Kim Jong-un, for example, initially maximum pressure and harsh rhetoric, then a sudden pivot to we have great chemistry. That emotional contrast made Kim feel respected after feeling threatened, and that emotional shift changed the negotiation dynamic.
This is why the best negotiators understand. People care more about how they feel than about the actual terms. Make someone feel important, make them feel heard, make them feel respected, and suddenly they'll give you things because the emotional experience is more valuable to them than protecting their position.
So here's what you take away from today. Negotiation in English isn't about tricks. It's about understanding human psychology and expressing your needs clearly while acknowledging the other person's needs too.
The person who understands the psychology behind language and uses it in business English, they win.
All right, please drop a like to support us.
And please hit subscribe so you never miss our absolutely transformative lessons that'll make you sound incredible in every conversation.
Stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching Speak Fluent English Lab, where fluent English feels simple and fun.
See you in the next one. Keep speaking, keep winning.